I made it. Hey! Hey! Well,
Uh-oh. What you all got me down here for? I ain't going in that place.
Oh, yes, you are.
Oh, yes, I ain't. Can't get me in that place. I done seen one dead body today, and that's enough. It's too much, yes, sir.
We only want you to look at man.
Days,
Yeah.
nothing doing. Who is the man?
Kobe.
Mr. Covey Days? Why, I didn't like that man alive. So what makes you think I'm going to like him Days?
Why didn't you like him alive?
He didn't talk enough. And it's a sure thing he ain't doing no talking now. All he did is sit around and look at the walls, staring. That's what. And it ain't good when a man don't talk.
Well, it won't be good for you if you don't get out of that car now.
It ain't gonna be good for me if I does, so I'm staying.
You want me to lock you up?
Where?
In the city jail.
They's alive in jail, ain't they? All right, sir. Lock me up with the living.
What's the trouble? She won't budge.
I ain't anxious to start no trouble, sir, but I just naturally don't like dead people.
You the janitor? Yes, sir. You knew Kobe Brasai, didn't you? Oh, yes, sir. All right, that's enough identification. You can go.
That way?
Right.
Yes, sir.
Here you go. Okay. Hey! Hey, Eddie, open up, will you? Hey, listen, stick around here a minute, will you? I may be going right back. Hello, Eddie. Hello. How's the boy?
Hiya, Sam. What detained you?
I had some business to attend to.
What you mean is you wasted an hour hanging around the police station. If you'd picked me up, I told you they were headed for the morgue.
Is it the depressing atmosphere of this place, or do I imagine that you're angry with me?
I? Angry with you? Huh. What have I to be angry with you about? You only pinched my story and made me lose my job. But what does that matter?
You lost your job?
Yes, I lost my job. I suppose you think that's very funny. It's probably the funniest thing you ever heard of. Probably laughed yourself sick over it.
Oh, no, darling.
Hey, it's all right to cry in this joint, but nix on the lovemaking.
Oh, you go to the devil, will you? Come on, darling, let's get out of this place. Eddie hasn't any romance in his soul. Let's go to a speakeasy.
What's romantic about a speakeasy?
I'm going to propose to you again.
And no cracks from you.
The only funny crack I can think of would have to come from her.
Yeah? What's that?
If she said yes.
Funny man. You know, darling, Eddie's wife got him the job here in the morgue. She thought he'd take the hint and die. Come on, honey. Well, do we go straight to the marriage bureau, or do I have to do some more talking?
You have to do plenty of talking.
Okay, we'll go to Joe's. I'll even take you in a cab.
$375 West 58. Couldn't you sit a little closer?
Not without being arrested. And speaking of arrest, Did you know that the Harker case was all over?
All over.
Yep, all washed up.
What do you mean? What happened at the apartment?
Plenty. Did you see Harker's maid, Augusta, last night?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Well, believe me, darling, you'll remember it.
You call me darling.
I didn't mean to. Well, she's something to feast the eyes on. Or was. She was found murdered this morning.
In Harker's apartment?
No, the janitor's.
Say, are you kidding me?
I? Listen, I'm the one who shouldn't trust you, not you me.
I'm sorry, darling. Go on.
Well, they found a marriage license in the apartment.
Whose?
The janitor's. It seems she was married to the janitor, but worked for Harker.
Oh, one of those. Say, look here, you worked for Harker, too.
Only on a double cross. He only made a couple of passes at me.
He made what? Why, I'll kill him.
Oh, he's already dead. The janitor killed him. Killed him and his wife, and then committed suicide. They dragged his body out of the East River this morning. That's what they had down at the morgue.
The janitor's body?
And the maid's, too.
Say, listen, has any of the mob got this story yet?
I don't think so.
Hey, driver, drive up to that drugstore, will you? You mind if I phone it in?
No.
I'll only be a minute.
All right, but hurry.
I'll hurry.
Driver, drive on.
You don't want to wait?
I don't want to wait. Driver, drive back to the drugstore.
I figured you might want to go back. That's why I made that right turn back there.
You know too much.
I've been driving a cab for 10 years. I've seen about all there is to see. Here you are, miss, and there's your man.
Man, don't be vulgar.
Where'd you go?
Listen, Ted.
What's the matter?
A story I told you about the maid and the janitor.
Well, what about it?
It isn't the truth. I made it up.
Huh?
I wanted to get even for last night, so I made it up. There isn't a word of truth in it.
Holy smokes.
Haven't you got a nickel?
No. I know you'd mind so much.
Mind? I phoned that story into your paper.
My paper?
Yeah, I wanted to make up for last night. Haven't you got a nickel?
No.
I told your editor what happened last night, and I held this scoop up if he'd give you your job back. He said yes, so I gave him the story. Haven't you got a nickel?
No.
Oh.
Terry, come in here. I found something just like in a mystery. Come on, come on.
What are you doing?
Oh, Mr. Harker's lawyer said I was to pack up Mr. Harker's things and clear out the apartment. But look at those drawers.
Mr. Harker's or the wooden ones?
Oh, Terry, aren't you the one? The wooden one. Do you see any difference in them?
Did they come out of the same chest?
They did. And so I investigated. And look what I found. I pressed and pressed all around here. And finally, sure enough, there it was. A little place behind there.
Empty.
But it wasn't. There was a letter there. And it reads like a threat. And he signs himself the Juice.
What? Oh, that means the electric chair. Central 5800. Morning news? Give me the files, please.
Hello?
Hello, Willie. This is Pat Morgan. Would you do me a favor?
Well, yes.
Look in the files and see when and where a man by the name of Denny Fagan was executed. That's all I have is the name. What? The chair, yes. And call me back at Drake 6048. Thanks. And Willie, see if it says anything about his relatives, particularly a brother or anyone who visited him on the day of his execution. That's right. Thanks. Augusta, will you make yourself scarce?
Scarce?
Scarce. In other words, scram.
What are you going to do, ma'am?
If I wanted you to know, do you think I'd ask you to leave the room?
Oh, I never thought of that.
Will you send the janitor up here right away, please? Thanks. Mr. Martini's apartment, please.
Now, Mr. Martini doesn't answer.
Thank you.
Janitor, miss.
Yes, come in. What's your name?
Peterson.
Well, look, do you have a pass key to all the apartments?
Yes, ma'am.
For $10, would you let me in an apartment for 5 minutes while you stand guard outside?
What apartment?
Joe Martini.
Oh, I couldn't think of it, miss. Not for $20.
Not even if it helps solve the mystery of Mr. Harker's death?
Mr. Harker's dead. Why, that's solved. I identified Mr. Colby's body myself. The police said he did it.
Maybe. But I don't think so. Come on, nobody will find it out. I just phoned Martini's apartment and there was no answer. Now, all you've got to do is stand guard out in the hall. And if Martini comes out of the elevator, you whistle. Or, better still, you could hammer on something.
Oh, I don't like it, miss. I'd be sure to lose